STAKK Nation, welcome back to the channel.
Champions.
Yes. So, today, okay, we are trying to
Today is the day.
find ourselves, okay, because we're lost. Lost at sea. Or is it lost at ETH? There you go. Lost at ETH, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, over the past so many years, really, since the conception of Bitcoin, there's always been another coin that claims to be the next Bitcoin. It is interesting because when we look at something like Dogecoin, right? Dogecoin actually just came out as a joke.
Not a Dogeland.
Yeah.
Not Shiba Inu.
Not Shiba Inu. Right?
Not Satoshi.
Yeah, so Bitcoin just came out as a joke, a meme
I mean, a
of
Dogecoin.
Bitcoin. Yeah.
Dogecoin, yeah.
I mean, sorry, Dogecoin. Yeah. And then, of course, we have Ethereum, which also came out at the same time. But it was not a joke. It was something that was determined, had a mission to crush Bitcoin, to flip Bitcoin, to be the superior computer of blockchains. Is that not what they call it? They say smart contracts.
The future of money.
Yeah, the future of
DeFi,
money
all
and
you
more.
know,
DeFi
you know,
and all.
all of them, all of the stuff, you know, NFTs,
Yes.
you know.
But thus far, I would say that this Ethereum has proven to be more of a joke than Dogecoin itself. All the way from the point where they rolled back the block, right, to now, you know, because it was Ethereum Classic at first, right, ETH.
Got hacked.
Right, and so they rolled back the block. They had this fork, which now gives us Ethereum, as we know previously, because it has changed again. It was proof of work, and then now it's now proof of stake. And there's been continuous upgrades being done to this system, which does it work? We don't know.
It's called a roadmap.
Exactly.
A map to nowhere. A map to where?
Yeah, it's a map to. It really seems like a map to nowhere,
Guys, hey, we're not coming after you. We're just explaining what we know,
Okay.
what we see.
Right.
Okay?
And we'll dive into more comparisons at the end here, where we look at on-chain data, right? Not just what we're saying. That shows that overall, at least in my view, I think that the performance, the usability, and everyday adoption of Bitcoin seems to be more superior. I mean, it's always been the case. But here, it gets worse because we find out that the founder of Ethereum, or supposed founder of Ethereum, seems to have some difficulties with understanding some concepts themselves. Seems to have some difficulties with multi-staking. And the way he presents it in this video, there is a lot left to be answered.
Lots of questions.
Yes, to say the least, right? However, I think that this pattern is consistent with something that people do not see before they get scammed.
By the way, look at the facial expressions.
Yeah.
Pay attention to what the founder is saying. This is not the first video. There's been a lot of them lately.
Oh, yeah.
Please pay attention.
Facial expressions.
Because, you know, mind you, mind me, we also had our beginnings in the space. If you're still in that space, you'll probably want to start asking some questions after this video. Don't stay lost in the ocean.
Absolutely. Well, we'll roll the clip here.
Probably the biggest reason why I personally am not like just staking all of my ETH and I'm instead like staking a fairly small portion is because if you stake your ETH, it has to be on like the keys that access it have to be public on some system that's online, and like for safety it has to be a multi-sig, and multi-sigs for staking are still fairly difficult to set up. You know, it gets complicated in a bunch of ways. Probably the biggest reason why.
You know what I want to point out here? Towards the end, okay? Look at the guy on the bottom left, right? And then look at the guy on the top right.
Look at the guy in the middle.
And the guy in the middle as well. If you just look at your body, like look at your body language again, okay? We're gonna run this back just one more time. Just look at your body language.
I personally am not like just staking all of my ETH and I'm instead like staking a fairly small portion is because if you stake your ETH, it has to be on like the keys that access it have to be public on some system that's online, and like for safety, it has to be a multi-sig, and multi-sigs for staking are still fairly difficult to set up, and it gets complicated.
You see that? The eye roll.
Like, what the heck did he just say?
Yeah.
Complicated in a
This
bunch
is
of
live
ways.
right now.
Yeah.
Why would you say that?
Yeah.
And
You can see the eye roll, and he's just like, dude, you are full of
and,
garbage.
Oh my god!
It
And
gets
they're
complicated in a
following
bunch of
him.
ways.
These
Yeah.
guys are all
Probably the
devs
biggest reason
on the system.
why
Listen.
I personally am not.
It sucks when you come to this point of realization that you have just been lied to, manipulated. It's fine. It happens to the best of us. You have to just embrace it. Take it for what it is. Learn and then move on. Okay? But if we go back to Vitalik here, there is so much that is wrong with this clip. And I think the sooner people start coming out, especially the people who call themselves developers in this space, right? Because here's the interesting thing with developers. Developers are people who understand code. It does not mean that they understand finance.
They're intelligent. No,
Yeah.
they get the VCs and the bankers to come and, upload them into the exchanges to pump it up.
Yeah, well, this is what I'm saying. It's like they will they will definitely do all the ones and zeros, right? The coding and all of that good stuff to make anything happen. It is logical organization, right? But when it comes to like finance, right? These guys it may not be their thing, right? So maybe bring a vision and they're supposed to just code that vision however you describe it. I don't know if that's the case here, but I think that it is very clear that everybody understands in this situation that staking, especially when the entirety of Ethereum stakeholders were forced to have their Ethereum locked in Ethereum 2.0 for almost a year? Was it a year almost?
More, because
Was more
they
than a year?
extended it.
Okay.
And now they are slowly,
Yes.
based on your level or your hierarchy in the
Exactly.
in the scheme.
And so if this was such a great idea, you would think that the head of Ethereum himself would be staking as much Ethereum as possible. If you look at Bitcoin, Satoshi's wallet has the most Bitcoins. Okay. This guy here is only staking a small portion of his ETH because he is worried about security.
Satoshi's wallet is public. Everybody sees it.
Yeah.
His wallet is not even public. His system is offline.
Yeah, exactly.
And they took a little of it to stake it.
Yeah, he took a little bit of it to stake it because
Not a little, by example.
because the multi-sig process is still complicated
For safety reasons.
So if he's worried about that, what about the people who are not anywhere near technically advanced and
They
just
have millions.
and just buying this stuff, right?
That is why we're having all these hacks in Ethereum in the first place.
Yes. So it's a scam. And I say that this is a pattern that a lot of times people fly over when they're about to get scammed. It's because the people that come out to scam you, right? It's always about coming out and just sounding smart. I think in one of the videos we're talking about, if you come out and you sound smart enough, you sound intelligent enough,
yeah.
right? It's like someone walks in with a doctor code and you automatically start calling them doctor without even knowing if they're really a doctor. That's what these guys are doing. We saw this with Sam Bankman-Fried, okay? I'm gonna play this little clip here. This was from I think it was is it Mr. Levin's podcast he was on, where he describes what they were doing at FTX, and people let that roll for a while onto the point where it finally got busted, right? So listen in on this here because I think it's really along the same lines. Check this out.
We start with a company that builds a box. And in practice, this box, they probably dress it up to look like a life-changing, world-altering protocol that's going to replace all the big banks in 38 days or whatever. Maybe for now, actually ignore what it does or pretend it does literally nothing. It's just a box. So what this protocol is, it's called Protocol X. It's a box, and you can take a token, you can take Ethereum, you can put it in the box, and you take it out of the box. Like you put it into the box, and you get like an IOU for having put it in the box, and then you can redeem that IOU back out for the token. So far, what we've described is the world's dumbest ETF or ADR or something like that. It doesn't do anything.
Pause it.
Yeah.
Did you say out? This is probably why this guy might get out of jail or not even go to jail, because literally just said it. It's currently being done in the fiat system right now.
Yeah, it is.
Right? It's just like the world's greatest ETF,
Yes.
or the world's greatest index fund.
Yeah.
Does absolutely nothing. It's
Yeah.
just a bunch of names put together and sold out to the public.
Yes.
It's just basically went and did that in a non-regulated space.
Yes. Yes.
But then paid the regulators.
Well, I think he should be going to jail, not for this, but he should be going to jail because even if you were going to take people's money and put it in a box that does nothing, the money should be sitting in that box that does nothing right now. That's not what he was doing. He was taking that money. It was not even going to the box that does nothing. It was going to another entity. And then from there now, they're also now taking that to buy houses and do all this other crazy stuff. This guy needs to go to... If this guy does not go to jail, I think that we probably need to reset the laws or something, because nobody should be going to jail for anything. Well, financial crimes wise, if they're going to be letting stuff like this fly. But one thing I want to point out is that at the point when he described this here, right, it was something that was just shocking to be coming from someone who is supposed to be a subject matter expert in the space, right?
Everything he explained there was in blockchain.
Exactly. And people brushed it off up until the time when their money was no longer there, right? It's the same thing with Ethereum. They have a box. They claim that this box does X, Y, and Z. In reality, you could really say it's an empty box, because when you start talking about Ethereum, people who are into Ethereum will quickly talk about smart contracts and DeFi.
Metaverse, NFTs.
Yeah. I'm just asking that someone should show me one effective use case in society today where Ethereum has a stronghold on the ground and is delivering anything that is said is going to deliver.
Unique and better than the current Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
Because it itself is another form of Ponzi scheme.
We see AI that just came out recently doing what AI is supposed to do, whether you like it or not.
Feel the impact right away.
Exactly. And so we have not seen that. We've not seen that from Ethereum at all. And it's been many, many years. And I think that people ignoring this is going to be the downfall of them.
I will give them a good point here. Yes, you can transact around the world. But at what transaction fee rate?
Well, you can transact around the world.
Transaction rates are faster.
Yeah. You can definitely transact.
You can do something better than MoneyGram.
Right.
Yeah. Transaction fee though.
Yeah. Well, let's think about this. When we talk about transactions, it's really, I think that someone like Vitalik or any of these crypto people boasting about transactions around the world are really a joke, right? Because the official joke on the block, which is Dogecoin, see what I do the wordplay? The official joke on the block, which is Dogecoin, can transact around the world for less than the cost of Ethereum.
Yep.
And it's not even something that anybody is taking serious at this point in time. Ethereum is having seminars and conferences and all kinds of crazy things around the world.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You just connected the major dot.
What's that?
The official joke on the block transact cheaper than Ethereum.
Yes.
But the official joke has an idea of going the X app that Elon Musk is working on.
Yeah.
Something interesting there.
All right. Well, listen. If the X app comes out before Ethereum actually does something productive in society, anyone that talks to me about Ethereum at that point, I'm straight up roasting them. Listen, let's look on some on-chain data here before we close this one out. Okay. If we look at transaction fees, the blue line is Bitcoin and the green line is Ethereum. We'll see that Ethereum has been robbing people of more fees than Bitcoin.
Making a lot of money too.
Okay.
Stealing money from Yao.
Listen, man. At some point in time, I tried sending a transaction. It cost more than
the actual
amount
fund that you're
trying to
moving.
send.
Yep.
Makes no sense. I don't know how these people got themselves to be convinced that this is reasonable, but God will help you guys. If we look at transaction count, right, we see that, yes, there's been a lot of transactions on Ethereum.
We know why.
We know why. Okay, rock pools are also in there.
Everybody's trying to make some quick money. Bitcoins are like, just take it easy, relax.
People are
just put it in your wallet.
People are setting up contracts every day to rock pool people. Those are transactions. Okay. Number of active addresses. We can see that there's more active addresses on Bitcoin, and there's more new addresses coming into Bitcoin over Ethereum.
Ethereum is dropping.
Exactly. Especially recently, you see that rise there in Bitcoin.
That's from July 22 to April 23.
One thing you must understand is that Ethereum will naturally gain. You see like areas where Bitcoin is moving up and Ethereum is moving up as well. But it's because Ethereum will naturally gain from the adoption of Bitcoin. Because when people start learning about Bitcoin for the first time, guess what they run into? Crypto. Right? Because they don't get that clear distinction between Bitcoin and all the other cryptos at first. So they'll be like, well, while I'm buying Bitcoin, since they said it's a great idea, maybe I should buy Ethereum too because it's right here on...
Because it's cheaper.
Exactly, right?
You know, it's crypto.
It's right here on Coinbase as well.
Blame it on the media. Hey, man, the crypto bubble app, man, it's very taunting, you know? Like you see XCC and Bitcoin Cash pump up like 15%. Like, oh, I want some of that action.
Exactly. Like, I don't want to hold this Bitcoin and be waiting. I want to jump in and get in quick. Hey, listen, you can do that too. You know, you can also get wrecked. Yeah,
that's financial advice.
Trust me, we know.
We've been there.
We have done it. Okay, we've been wrecked. So it's just we speak from experience on this. So on-chain volume, you see that Bitcoin on-chain volume holding steadily above Ethereum. As a matter of fact, market capitalization to transaction fee ratio, we see that the Bitcoin market capitalization is rising to the transaction fee ratio, right? So, and this transaction fee ratio thing as well too is like we have Lightning now, so there is ways to circumvent this on-chain transaction fees. You cannot do that for Ethereum.
Ethereum is trying to copy now because they've been talking about using the multi-layers now. Ethereum is trying to do a copycat of that.
Or they can just they can just use Bitcoin because it already exists. Yeah, clowns, man. Right.
Another funny part of that whole layer and transaction fee situation is that you have Lightning, you have a whole bunch of other solutions to solve the one problem that everybody keeps saying, oh, the block sizes are small.
Right.
Bitcoin is too slow. Wait a second. You have layer 2. You can actually have other layers on Bitcoin. Bitcoin was designed for that. Yeah. Ethereum should have never been an entire whole new blockchain on itself. If it was smart, it should have just been a layer.
Ethereum should have
sub-layer to Bitcoin.
Well, I think Ethereum should have just been an app on the layer to Bitcoin.
It should have been.
On the Bitcoin layer too.
Now that you say that, the BRC20s, the BRC8, all the different BRCs, they're not becoming sub-layers of Bitcoin.
Oh, okay. Well. What did they think was going to happen? I get on Bitcoin standard, man. It's so crazy because the reason why I kind of come across as underwhelmed about a lot of these things is because if you go back to a lot of our videos, we have pointed out, and now it's just like, okay, well, it's an incredible. You know, I think Bitcoin is so complex and it's so beautiful because it's like we all see it from different angles, right? And you can have people who are so smart, developers, and they don't see this overarching picture where it's like, why are we doing this now? It's kind of like the things with the ordinals, right? They're like, somehow they justify the increase in transaction fees to be okay. In their mind, that is okay. But
because they've been so used to doing that in the Ethereum space.
Yeah, exactly, right? But then over time, it's like they will learn and then they'll get to it. Or they could have just taken a moment to stop and just analyze what else is out there before making moves, right? Again, looking here, we see that this is the block producers revenue. So the miners for Ethereum at the time when Ethereum was proof of work. But then Ethereum switched to proof of stake. And so now we see this wicked drop, essentially flatline, zero.
Proof of stake, by the way, is when it went from actual energy being used to create Ethereum to actually, push
fiat,
a button.
To fiat, essentially.
Back to the fiat.
It became fiat. It became fiat, yeah. Average transaction fee, obviously higher on Ethereum. And the percentage of supply in a year, we can see that for Ethereum, it is definitely That seems like more of an aggressive dive there.
Oh, because they keep having to burn out their burn out their Ethereum. But in Bitcoin's case, people are just buying it and keeping it in their wallets.
They're burning Ethereum to reduce supply.
Whereas Bitcoiners are just buying it and putting it in their wallet.
Yeah.
That's the funny part.
Oh yeah, that is disappointing. Absolutely. Well, so there it is, man. I think look, people need to be able to reconsider. It seems to me that the leader of Ethereum itself is uncertain about his own product. And if someone is not certain about their product, why do you believe in it more than they do? Is my question to everyone.
Have you seen the stock market? Anytime the CEO comes out and is not confident in their company, what happens to the stock?
Exactly. Straight tanking to the bottom of the pits. Okay. Any final thoughts, sir, before we close this one out?
Yeah, I mean, guys, it's very simple. We're just trying to be logical. We're not doing this to hit hard on Ethereum followers or any other crypto people. We're not Bitcoin maxes either. We're just trying to just give you guys an opportunity to maybe take a step back and say, okay, if the founder of a technology that I believe in so much is saying that he doesn't even stake his own coins, then why am I invested in it?
Absolutely. For sure.
It's that simple.
Again, like I would also like to reemphasize one thing you said there. This is not a dig at anyone, but it's definitely a dig at the ideas. We must challenge ideas at all times. It does not matter whose idea it is. That's why every video we tell people to challenge the stuff that we talk about. Because if we take our word as gospel, they say drinking your own Kool-Aid, right? If we are wrong, we need to be able to know that we are wrong. Okay? It's not an attack on anyone, but the ideas that these people are putting out are absolute garbage. And what is even more scary is the fact that when you have other people who are hopping on that train, we want to understand what is it you see that we don't see. Because we were also in the space and everything about it made us leave because it was a scam. Right? So there's that. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, please, we hope you found this helpful. Subscribe to the channel, STAKK. Like, share, comment, all that good stuff. Of course, we are on Twitter, STAKKFin. We're also on Spotify, as STAKK. So follow us there. Leave a comment on any of these platforms. Let us know what you would like to see. Exactly, right? And until next time, Brazen out.
Double O.